All right, good day, everyone. My name is Fashimo Michael Olaito. I'm super excited to welcome you to another wonderful episode of the Growth Code podcast brought to you by Fash Media Concept. And what we do on this podcast is to share helpful information that can, by God's grace, help you achieve growth in all spheres of life. Talk about your academics, talk about your career, talk about your professional life. And I do that by bringing experts and professionals to come and share their story, to come and share their journey, because I believe there is a lot that we can learn from those that are really walking the talk. And on today's episode, I have with me Omoyeni Temitokwe. She is a EdTech co-founder of Indu Edge, a platform that is helping graduates to navigate how they can easily get job, how they can be well equipped with digital skills, how they can be well equipped with skills that are relevant in the 21st century. And today we're going to be discussing something profound. I'm very interested in this topic, and my guest is also well interested in this topic, not because of the fact that she is vast in that area, but because it's a topic that is dear to my heart. Because I believe if Nigerian youth vis-a-vis African youth are well equipped in this digital world, it will be easy for us to fight a lot of crimes and criminality that we are witnessing on a daily basis across the continent. And today, we're going to be looking at what are the things that must be done to build Africa's workforce for the 21st century. It is no longer a news that we can't afford to play local, we can't afford to be just consumer. Our foreparents, they've always been known to be consumers, all right? We barely produce. So we're going to be looking at all this together. How can we move from just being onlookers to actually participating in the revolution that is going on in the technological world? And once again, I have with me Omoyeni Temitokwe, and I'm very excited to bring her on board right now. Good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Hi, Mr. Fash. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. It's such an honor to be here this morning, and I'm really excited and I look forward to this impactful conversation. Thank you.
Amazing. Yeah, that's great. So before we start the conversation, I have icebreakers for you. Yeah, I love to start with icebreakers. So I have some icebreakers for you. So you're going to pick randomly. I have 10 questions. I have 10 questions before we start the conversation, really. So you're going to pick randomly. I'm going to read out the question to you. So from number 1 to 10, pick any question. Then I'm going to read the icebreakers to you. That will actually help us to know you more. So let's go.
Okay, let me start with one.
All right. Number 1. That's lovely, right? All right. So, what is one thing you will have learned earlier in your career? What is one thing you wish you had learned earlier on in your career? What is one thing you feel I would have learned that earlier in your career?
Yes, actually, one very thing I would have learned better is networking. Like earlier in my career, I would have learned how to network effectively and how to use it to my favor, to my advantage, and not just being a solo person, like just doing your thing in your corner by yourself. I would have shown up more earlier. So that's actually one very thing I wish I had done, though I'm changing the narrative for myself already.
That's amazing. I believe it's still part of what we're going to discuss. So, let's go. Yeah, you have two more. Three. You're going to pick 3 out of 10. So, let's go. Two more.
Okay, let's do 10. Let's do 10.
Question number 10. So, I'll go with question number 10 right now and say, what is something people are always surprised to learn about you? What is that one thing that people are always surprised to learn about you?
Yeah, I think that's going to be. Most people are surprised to see that I can be very playful. Like, most that knows me know that I look serious and I'm always like corporate, serious here and there. So when some people have the opportunity to come into my inner circle and see how jovial I can be, and let me say how loving I can actually be in cracking jokes and making one feel lively. So they're like, is this really you? Yeah.
Yeah, that is amazing. We cannot live our life without humor. That's great. So pick the last one.
So let's do number 5.
Apologies. So this number 5, I love it very well. During the time I used to host my radio program, I used to ask my guest this particular question. And each time I'm preparing for this, I always ensure something like that is included in this icebreaker. So, what particular book will you say have the most impact on you? Book that you think, yes, when you are recommending book, this would be the top that you're going to recommend for others. So, what book have you read that have has the most impact on you? Yeah, you are muted. You are muted. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Okay, you see, for me, is it, let's say, is it in terms of maybe in the business world or any book generally? Because one of the books that I say that I would actually say is that actually helped me a lot to actually discover myself and be able to align my purpose, understand what God wants for me and the likes, is actually not a secular book. Actually, it's a spiritual book, and it's from by Kenneth Hagin, Spirit Within. That book, Spirit Within and the Spirit Without. So it actually helped me a lot. I read that book and I still really have it in my archive, and I go there sometimes. I read it in 2013, 2014, if I'm not mistaken. And since then, I've actually have a glimpse opening into how to really understand what God actually wants for me. So it's not just that I'm doing anything anyhow. Yeah, I have a lot of other mentors and other books I've read that has helped me in the secular world. But straight for this question, I would say is that's from Kenneth Hagin. It really helped me a lot.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Very great book. Though I've not read it, but I've read the book by Ellen Taking Good Morning Holy Spirit. And I can say it's actually a game changer for me. I think we're something in common. For me also, my best book of all time is not actually a secular book. I've read the book over and again for to give to people. Until now, I think 2 months ago, I tried to pick it up and revise, and that is the purpose driven life by requiring mindfulness, something to game changer for me, that will be game changer for me. So that's very great. And then I believe these questions that I've answered have actually given more insight into your personality, who you are, and wonderful conversation we're going to have. So I'm going to go straight in. So as we begin, first, what inspired you to focus on workforce development in Africa? Because it's actually, uh, let me say, an industry or a niche where people will actually try to run away from. While I was reading your bio, I actually understand that as a result of your experience, what you passed through, and then that's actually. Don't let me even answer the question for you. So you should be the one to answer the question. So I'd like you to tell us what inspired you to focus on workforce development for African youth in particular.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that question. Actually, my journey into workforce development is guided by two major things: events that I witnessed personally, I experienced personally. And I'm going to sum it up to be that of fear and frustration. So fair in the sense that when I finished my secondary school education in 2011, so before I got admission into the Polytechnic in 2013, so we had 1 year strike, so we resumed 2014. So within those periods, I'm somebody that I don't like staying at home. Even my parents did not want to allow me like to go and work. So they're like, for what? Do you need the money? What do you want to do? So, but in fact, I called almost all the family members on them to plead on my behalf that I don't just want to stay at home. So they allowed me. So I was working in an informal sector. And to my amazement, the people we were working together were graduates, and we were doing the same job, we were earning the same amount. And so it made me to be very much afraid, like what's going to happen to me after I leave school as well? Like I'm going to school, am I going to come back to join the informal sector as a workforce and with all my expertise that I would have gotten in school and things like that? So it actually helped me. When I got to school, I was speaking to every successful person that I know. Like if then the question I'm going to be asking is, what do I do after graduation? How can I get a good job? How can I do this? So there will always be a lot of people will always be like, don't bother about that. Just finish this your stage first before, just like an 100 level, being bothered about what happens after 4 or 5 years. So, but like I would say, luckily for me, I was in discussion with one of my fathers. Then he was a lecturer at FUTA. That's around 2017. Yes, 2017 specifically. So, but now he's the current VC for Redeemers University, Professor Femi Akindele. So we were having a discussion, just a casual one, and he mentioned that volunteering is actually a very good thing, that most graduates, they don't actually have what it takes. And so they want the high pay, but they have not gone through the real world process. That he advises that graduates should volunteer after graduation before saying that maybe they are looking for higher pays companies that is going to pay them well and things like that. So it was not actually really making sense to me then, really, I wouldn't lie. So, but until a year after, it just looks like the Holy Spirit was putting it in my heart that I should do that thing, something we just had casually, and it was ringing a bell in my mind even after 1 year. So I decided to give it a try right as an undergraduate. So I was volunteering with a company then. So by the time I graduated, I've had like 2.5 years of work experience with that company. And that was when an opportunity came up. I was recommended, and I got a job after my graduation. And when I got to that job, I saw that I got to know that that particular role has been vacant for 7 months. So I'm like, wow, is it like people are not applying or what? With my own eyes, I saw a lot of CVs. Like even when I read the CVs, I'm like, wow, this person will be a good fit. Then why me? So I saw that the things that were lacking is that job readiness, that's being groomed in the workplace. It's always different. Like you've worked in a place where you have reported to someone is different from you are coming out fresh. Like you have to be trained in all those processes and the likes. So yeah, okay. So then after then, I have before this IndoEdge, our startup that focuses on employability training and job placement for recent graduates. We have another startup, myself and my co-founder, which is Better O Technologies. And what we do is a software automation for secondary schools. So we still have it running now. So I was bootstrapping. I was working with that company that I said the role has been vacant for like 7 months. So we wanted to employ business developers that would take up my place fully in the company, and so that I can just do my thing sideways, like being a bootstrapping founder. So we now had a lot of CVs. In fact, it was very, very tough. We couldn't get a perfect fit. These people are recent graduates. We couldn't get people that were, so it became something, a kind of a burden in me. Like, I got a job. This role has been vacant for 7 months. They've been interviewing people. People have been showing interest, but they've not been, they don't meet the criteria of these employers. I myself, as an employer back then for that role, I understood better. I couldn't get somebody who would fit in very well. So, well, we just decided to give it a shot. We enrolled someone we actually felt, okay, this person has the potential and is teachable. So we did the training like from the ground up. And to my amazement, this lady performed wonderfully. So I'm like, yeah, the problem is really that these guys do not have what it takes. I do not understand that because, I already had that training right as an undergraduate. So I don't know what it means to graduate and not really have what it takes. So, but when we wanted to employ someone at Better Technologies and we saw that, so it actually put that idea in my mind. And when we scaled Better Old to a very reasonable extent that the company can run without me and it's profitable already, then this is another, so now the journey into workforce development as another problem that needs solution too. And we've been doing that.
Amazing, amazing. This is so powerful. This is so powerful. You see, I love the fact that first you are able to find purpose in pain, like your experience, what you've gone through, and right now you are using that to solve, a very big problem, not just in Nigeria but in Africa. That is very great. Before I move to my next question, uh, you make mention of the fact that yeah, you are a startup founder, and then when we hear about startup founders, sometimes we think probably they have access to money bag, probably they they have someone pumping money into their project or whatever they are doing. But you make mention of the fact that you started, you bootstrap by yourself. So tell us your experience. How was it for you? How was it for you? Tell us about your experience. Tell us about the ups, the downs. During the course of this conversation, we're going to talk about the success story, but tell us your experience.
Oh my God. It's I don't know the best word to use for it, but let me just say it's really been challenging. Yeah, especially that aspect you mentioned of not having like someone like a money bag somewhere. You just need something, pick it and solve it, and yeah, you go your way. So, but with purpose in the forefront of everything we do, it has been encouraging. So, but it's actually not easy. Like a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of like, especially when we started Into Edge, when I actually went public with, started talking about what Into Edge is all about and what we do online. I shared about how for 3 months, the highest hour I could say that I slept was, let's say, 3 to 4 hours in a day out of 24 hours. So I was doing a lot of research, a lot of, assuming I had all the finances, I wouldn't have bothered myself with doing certain things, having a lot of sleepless nights to, I wore so many hats. I was I was the course curator for, we have various modules. So I have like two of them that I do. I'm the person in the forefront of marketing. I'm the person in the forefront of seeking partnership. I'm the person in the forefront of social media management. In fact, I learned a lot of skills. I added to, I learned a lot of skills that normally I wouldn't have bothered myself with. I would have just been the business co-founder and just chill somewhere. So, but it's been challenging and it's been profitable because when you learn new things and you start doing you start practicing, there's a kind of fulfillment that comes from it. And when I see, when we started having people coming in, getting trained, I read about their stories online, their testimonials, about the impact the course is having in them. And eventually, after they finish up, like everybody that has completed our training has gotten job placement courtesy of Indowage. So it actually made me forget about a lot of pains that I've gone through. So for now, I can't really dig deep into how challenging it is, because it's but sincerely, it's not easy. You're going to learn a lot, like a lot of new skills, wear a lot of hats, and do a lot of things, like do like 5, 6 man work for you alone. And importantly, you're going to lose a lot of sleep.
All right. I don't want to sound as if you're making it people to be afraid of actually being a founder, but that's just, there's no better way to say it. There's no better way to say it. That is exactly how it is, and that's lovely and wonderful. So let's quickly talk about your experience now, and I would like you to be expressive about this question in particular. What is the greatest skill gap that you have observed that is affecting employability among Nigerians, African as a whole? So, what do you think is the greatest skill gap that's actually affecting employability?
Okay.
Oh, okay. I'll bring her on board. I think she's having issue with her network. Can you hear me? Lovely.
Yes, can you hear me? Oh,
I
sorry.
can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay, okay. So the major thing that I see as a major challenge that is really affecting the employability of graduates in Africa is this communication skills, the lack of practical skills and job ready skills, particularly in communication, in customer handling, and like reporting, corporate reporting. So I see this as a major thing that is affecting the employability of graduates. So come to think of it, there are a lot of graduates that do not really know, they find reporting stressful. And there is no workplace that you will be successful without acknowledging somebody ahead of you and reporting correctly. So they can't use tools. In fact, I'm so shocked. Recently, I met someone that does not even know about Meta AI, something that is on everybody's phone, everybody's WhatsApp. He doesn't know about it, and he's already employed actually. So it's something I see that is affecting a lot of people. Communication, like people, graduates, some of them, most of them, they don't know how to write a professional email. They don't know how to handle customer complaints. They feel like, yeah, why is this person talking like that? Why is this person? No, you can't be talking to me like that. They don't know how to handle customer complaints. They don't know how to use all the CRM tools and like even Google Sheets. Some of them don't know how to use it. Some people, it's that practical skills and job ready skills is the two things that I think is actually a very big shot that is affecting a lot of graduates and is standing in their way of being employable. And well, that's one of the things that we ensure we bring in at IndoEdge, ensuring that they have that hands-on, like when graduates enroll in our course, apart from the training that they undergo, we have time that they they work directly with a company, like in forms of a practical form, so that they can have that hands-on experience. So everything they have learned, everything they have been groomed about, they are going to do it as if they are actually a staff of that company. And after that specified period for internship, that is when we can now say that, yes, you are job ready. Then we connect them to businesses. And I think until our educational sector and until, let me just say, the educational sector, until we actually move into this real practical hands-on, maybe 50-50 to theoretical, 50 theoretical, 50 practical. Until we do that, there's going to be a lot of graduates that are, in terms of certification, comes to doing the job, then they are not a fit.
Lovely, lovely. That's very lovely. Public speaking skills cannot be overemphasized. That's the truth, and it's just so rather unfortunate that people still take it for granted. But the truth is, if you're vast in public speaking, doors will open for you because there is no way you have to communicate. As humans, we have to relate, we have to interact. So I believe that our ability to communicate effectively, determines our market value when it comes to being employed. So thank you so much for that. You've partially answered my next question. I'd wanted to ask you, if our educational system in Nigeria is actually doing more good, or I actually want to ask, but you've actually partly mentioned it, that there's a need for us to overhaul our educational system to ensure that we are producing graduates that are fit and graduates that are ready for the market. And that has been very good from you. That has been very wonderful from your end. Thank you so much. I think we're having challenge with okay. So let's see. All right. So for those of you that are still with me, thank you so much. I think I have a couple of persons right here watching. Let me know where you're watching us from. Let me know if you've been able to gain anything so far from our discussion. Please go to the comment section. First, tell me your name. Tell me where you're watching us from. I would like to bring your comment on the screen. Please drop something. I would like to bring your comment on board. For those of you that are online right now watching, tell me your name. Tell me where you're watching from, and tell me if you're enjoying the conversation. Don't forget, this is the Growth Code podcast brought to you by Fash Media Concept. My name is Fash Michael, and I'm your host. And I've been speaking with Omoyeni Temitokwe. She is the founder of Indo Edge EdTech platform. And what they do is to ensure that they ensure that graduates are ready for employment. So they bridge the gap, and they do that through mentorship, training, and courses. So thank you so much. Let me see if she's back right now. All right, Olani, thank you so much. Okay, Ayomide from Ibadan. Thank you. Ayomide, you are watching us from Ibadan. Yes. So, all right, thank you, Ayomide. So we have Ayomide that is watching us from Ibadan. Thank you, Olani Ayomide. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes. All right. So I'm going to bring my guest on board right now. Yep. I'm bringing on board right away. All right, so if you are still there and you are watching us, I want to give you a shout out. I can see Olani Ayomide. She's actually watching us from Ibadan, Nigeria. Thank you so much for joining us. Let me know what you have gotten from our conversation today. Let me know if you have gotten anything from our conversation today. Please do well to share it with us. Do well to share it with us. Yes, we'd like to hear from you. Do well to share it with us. Okay. All right, so we're still discussing building Africa's workforce for the 21st century. Yeah, I think I'm having issues bringing back my guest on board. Let me see. Let me see. Just a moment. All right. Thank you. Yeah, sorry.
Apologies, looks like network kicked me.
One of my big mentors we say third world syndrome. Don't It's not our fault. So it's because we're in the third world. So probably if we're in the first world, we would have cause to worry about network and whatnot. But regardless, we are back and we are not retired. We are back and we are back stronger and better. So thank you very much. Yes, I can have Rahim from Ibadan. Wonderful conversation. Wonderful. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. We have Rahim Ayola is tuning in from Ibadan, and he said we're having a wonderful conversation. Thank you so much, Rahim. Thank you so much. We appreciate you stopping by. And please, if you have questions for my guest, please do well to drop it. If you have clarification, please do well to drop it in the comment section as well. And then if you have, you know, if there are lessons that you think you picked from our conversation, I would love to read from you as well. Please drop it in the comment section. For thank you so much for joining us. All right. So we're talking about our educational system just before the interruption. I wouldn't like us. We already know that the educational system in Nigeria needs a total overhauling. But the truth is, we must speak to the youth as well. You see, there's an adage in my language that says that tó bí èèyàn náà túnra ẹ̀ bí. You understand? When your parents, when they give birth to you, you understand they have certain responsibility, but you yourself, you have huge amount of responsibility that you must put on yourself if you want to live a meaningful life. So I believe that as youths, as Africans, we must be intentional when it comes to our personal growth and personal development. One thing I found lacking in the lives of many youth out there is that readiness, that commitment to personal growth, to personal development, that hunger seems not to be there. The truth is, we're already at a disadvantaged position, be a Nigerian. That is the reality. A lot of things are not working, a lot of things are not working on our behalf. Just very recently, there is a popular man, Tawhid, the guy based in US, used to give, helpful tips that can help relocation and study abroad. And his post actually enlightened me the more. He said, our foreparents, they witnessed colonialism. Colonialism subdued them, our foreparents, right? Now, our parents now, they suffered in the hand of bad governance. Our parents, they suffered in the hand of bad governance. Now, look at what we too we are experiencing now. And that is the reality. If you look at it, our foreparents, colonization, that is one of their greatest disadvantage. That's one of the greatest things that hampered development during their own time. Look at our parents now. Our parents now, they are suffering from what? From bad governance. Independence, they are struggling, and then we got independence, and then we can see bad governance here and there. So that is the truth. So if we are not committed to, actually pushing hard, I don't know what exactly do you want to pass to our children. So I realized that that commitment and that hunger, the zeal to actually be better by the day is one thing that I think is actually lacking. So thank you so much for. I think I've taken a bit of time to drive home my point. So my next question is yeah, how do we now? Let's talk about how can the gap between academic qualification and workplace, what can be done to ensure that we bridge it? Now, we don't want to be crying about our woes all the time. So, what are the simple, basic steps that stakeholders, government officials, yeah, it is true that they may know it, but you never can tell whoever may be watching this conversation. We might just give one of the best recommendations that will bring about change. So, how can this be bridged?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I actually love this question particularly because the answer I wanted to give to it, the answer that is in my mind to actually give to it is something that has been really, really eating me up. Really. Like, I think in one of my posts on social media, I wrote something around that. And I'm glad that I'm going to be sharing it live again. So the thing is, the very big factor is it's everything still lies on the government in ensuring that there is a revamp in our educational system. So, and I think I would use this opportunity to call on stakeholders in the educational sector to look into something that they have made room for that can actually be a gap closure between the theoretical things in the classroom and the real workplace realities. And that thing is that compulsory internship and SEWES that every undergraduate do go for compulsorily. I only think that the government needs to, like the stakeholders in the educational sector, need to actually look into that very well and take it more serious. You see, this, it's nothing different from you have opportunity for 6 months, some people 1 year, and some people in the university, they go for this internship program 2 times in their 4 or 5 years program, like some 3 months, then after that 6 months, then some people in the polytechnic, they have like 4 months, and after that 1 year. I think that's a very good innovation already. It's just that it's not been monitored to ensure that it delivers the right results. You see, most of our undergraduates that go for internships and CWEs, they're not taking it serious. I mean, a lot of them, I shouldn't generalize because some people are really making the most out of it. So, but the larger percentage are not taking it serious. And I'm going to say they not taking it serious is actually a defect from the system, the stakeholders, because I am an employer. We have people that come for CWES and IT in our company, maybe for like people in business, business administration, mass communication, office technology, and those in the IT sector like computer science and the like. So they come to our organization for their internship period. But I'm going to tell you that from my first startup, that was since 2021 till now for IndoEdge, we have had nothing less than 15 IT students that has passed through us. And I can tell you that I have never for once seen any supervisor to come and check on these guys. Not for once. Not for once. So, and if not that, what we are like, actually, me, I'm a disciplinarian. And if you are to do something, you should do it. You are not coming to my office to just while away time or to just get that signature and maybe you are not coming, you are going somewhere else, you are doing other things. No. So everybody that has actually passed through us, even before IndoEdge, we have impacted them and they are doing very well on their own because of that 6 months, 1 year period that they came to use with us. So, but what about other, I know about other people. In fact, I recently, I'm speaking with someone, I was asking her, she actually, she's doing a 1 year internship, and what actually made us connected was that I got to know that she went to my school, like the school I graduated for my first degree. So I was very excited. I was like, oh, wow, so what are you doing now? And the likes like that. She was working in an entirely different sector, like an informal sector for that matter, for her internship. And I asked her, what about the letter that you are going to give to your school after you go back for your program to verify you, to qualify you for the next stage? She was like, I'm going to get somebody to sign that for me, maybe a sector that is related to what I do. And I'm like, God, are you for real? So people are doing this, and they are not detecting it. We are just, so it means that we are just graduating people that we have not, I mean, in the educational sector, we've not trained them for the workplace. And I think that internship period is actually a very, very good period to instill into them what the workplace looks like. So if it can actually be looked into to ensure that these people, this undergraduate, because definitely it's the undergraduate that are going to become graduates, and it is those graduates that will be needed in the workplace to drive growth. So if they are coming and their full focus is the money now, where they are going to pay them this money, that money, first, they don't want to learn, they don't want to know the practical things that are obtainable in their workplace, in their field. So me, I think the government already have a very good structure already. They only need to ensure that it is effective. When any student goes on internship, they have a supervisor. They should go check on them. So when they know that their supervisor is actually going to check on them, they are not going to, a mass comm student is not going to be working in a pure water factory. A computer science student is not going to be working in a bookshop, because they are going to pay you. And by the end of it, you look for them to our funders, the big brothers, the big sisters, the daddies, the mommies as well. You shouldn't encourage these, because how is it that somebody does not come to work under you, and you are going to issue that letter of recognition, that to say that, oh, this person actually worked. And at the end of the day, this set of people will say Nigeria is bad, the people do not, this graduate do not have what it takes. It's like a kind of a rotating thing. Yes, there's a part of the government, there's a part of the student, there's a part of people that are already on the fields. I think a lot of some people are not helping the matter by encouraging, by indulging all this undergraduates. And I think if we can look into all those pipelines, things will be better.
That's really comprehensive, very comprehensive, and I'm glad you're able to touch some basic areas that needed to be touched. So I'm just going to add quickly to that. You see, I could remember 2012 after my national diploma. During my national diploma, and the truth is, my internship actually set the pace for my career, the trajectory of my career. So I did my sideways at Nigerian Television Authority in learning. My goodness, that experience, I can never forget it. I can never forget that experience. So, you know, that has actually, during that period, I'm just giving, for those that may be watching, to be honest, I built a relationship. Up till now, I have a very good relationship with people that are in that place. So I am very confident. Many of them we still connect offline and online. They look out for my good. So if I have any issues, if I need any help, I know the right people to actually consult. So the truth is, during that period, apart from the fact that I have a lot of persons now, they went to bank. That was the period when people are going through. That was the period Guaranteed Trust Bank came on board, and then they're just recruiting IT and whatever, because they really do not want to employ people and pay them the right amount they're supposed to pay them. So they then employ IT. That was the moment that we have IT students. 95% of them are going to the banking sector. Totally different from what they started, because after that time, I think they are paying far above 50,000 or what have you. Do you understand? So I never regretted that, because till now, the knowledge, the skill acquired is still paying off. When I'm supposed to do my industrial training, IT, I did something entirely different. I traveled all the way from Kwara State. I traveled to Osun State to go and learn what we now call, it's not even, it's now that they now generalize it. As at that time, I went to learn camera handling, video editing, photography, and everything. I paid, I paid, I paid to learn. I did not, it's not as if there's no other place to learn in Kwara State. But do you know what it means? I have to leave my comfort zone, completely travel to Oshogo and learn. When I came back for my HND program, to be honest, I was discussing this recently, and I said it's because, and that's another lessons that I've also learned as well, that in your journey, please ensure you document. In your journey, please ensure you document, because there will be time you want to refer back to it. There will be time that you want to be valid and you need something substantive to back your claim. No cap, no exaggeration. I made my first million while I was doing my HND. All right. My school, I covered their matriculation during my convocation. While others are wearing their convocation gown, I still recorded for my department. And what anyway, you may be aware of that. Giving us assignments, those period, I have my brand. I have my brand name now. My brand name now that I registered with CAC. I started it as an undergraduate, Flash Media Concept, that's been duly registered. So what am I trying to say is that just like you said, then we have lecturers that will come. Oh, they will come and monitor you. They will come like 2 or 3 times, and that's part of what you mentioned. You understand? So if all those loopholes are blocked, I believe strongly that all those provisions will be helpful and will actually help students to develop holistically. So thank you so much. I just have to, corroborate what you have said. Fantastic. So let's talk about the rise of digital remote work. You understand? Let's talk about, every here and there now you see remote work. People, you don't need to show up in office. You can actually work remotely at home. So I want you to tell us that what new opportunities are now available. I would like you to please tell us the new opportunities that are now available for those that are willing, you understand, to be submissive, to learn digital skills. So what are the opportunities that are available to them?
Okay, thank you. Thank you. You see, what remote work has done for us in Africa is, let me say, is very, very huge because now we have a lot of people that can, I can stay from Ibadan here. I'm working with a company in the US. I'm getting paid in that same currency. I mean, the same amount they will have paid a staff that is resident there. They are paying people that are not even in that geographical space with them. So all thanks to technology, it has actually done a lot for us. And when we are talking about digital skills, they can actually help. I would say that it goes beyond coding because I know that one thing that has actually gained a lot of grants for among us now is okay, you have to be in tech, learn tech skills. Yes, it's fine, like it's very, very fine. But I think there are some new opportunities that are coming up. Especially, there's this new kind of sales that is coming up now, and it is social media marketing. Yeah, some people may call it social media management, but for us at IndoEdge, we call it social media marketing because it is actually a kind of inbound sales, like using the platform, the social media platform, to be able to get potential customers for any company. And there is something that's like AI cannot take over. AI cannot take over anything that has to do with human interaction. There will always be that gap that AI cannot fill. Yes, for every sector. Yes, even for the tech, AI cannot totally do it. But the emergence of AI is actually reducing the number of talents that is needed in that field. So because even for us, instead of getting like 5, 10 people to develop something, with the presence of AI, we can have 3, 4 people do it, and they will still be very, very productive and effective. So, but when it comes to skills around customer relations, business development, they're actually something that when we use technology to enhance it, we can learn more. So if you try to go and look into job vacancies that are available online in every platform, you will see that there is this, what I said earlier, social media marketing. You will see almost every company needs somebody that is versatile in that particular field. And you mentioned something that you went during after your national diploma, you went to study, you went to learn camera handling, video editing, all those things. If you did not upskill in this century now, if you don't upskill, you just see that that skill is not needed in the workplace, because that particular thing is being wrapped into social media management. Like a social media marketer will be able to do videos, edit videos, write content, do graphics, handle camera, do all those things. And those are everything we teach at IndoEdge for that particular course module. So it's something that I really advise a lot of people. You see that when I'm breaking down the skills that will be needed to that would fit that will make someone fit to be a social media manager, I have coupled together like 4 to 5 skills that can stand alone already on their own. So that's the new trend. Things like that, for you to be able to know how to even use AI to handle customer complaints, for you to be spontaneous. Every company needs that. And you don't even need to probably be abroad to be able to. We have a lot of people, even for Indued, for us at Indued, we've partnered with 2 companies in the UK, and the staffs that we have given them, they are in Nigeria. They are working from Nigeria with them. So all these skills, just being familiar with digital skills and understanding the business side of it is, I'm sorry, I'm going to be making so much example of what you said, because it actually fits into this discussion. So if you have just learned how to edit videos and do this thing, but you don't know how to position it, you don't know the business side of it, you're going to be missing out, and it's going to be very frustrating. I shared something recently. Pastor Sam Adeyemi, his media team did something around one message he did like that about frustration is different from differs from frustration. The frustration of a tenant is different from the frustration of a landlord, something around that. So, and I'm like, yeah, indeed, frustration is different from frustration. The frustration of a graduate that is skilled but does not understand the business aspect of that skill is going to be different from the person that is skilled and understands the business aspect of it. So my own is that for every young person that is looking to learn skills, learn something that that AI cannot take over just easily, that AI cannot just let you go out of it. And that's one of the reasons why we focus on business related roles at IndoEdge. We don't do tech trainings like data analysis and the likes. We don't do all those things. We basically focus on sales, and sales can imply you being a business developer, a social media marketer, a front desk person, and things like that, because they are roles that AI cannot easily just take over, like AI cannot really replace. And there is no business that can survive without all this expertise. So, like, every company needs somebody that can sell their products, whether through the use of social media or visiting or outbound methods or anything. So, learn skills that are in vogue that AI cannot take over, because AI has come and it has come to stay, and we need to use it to enhance whatever skill that we have. Thank you.
Yeah, that's lovely. Yeah, I knew I didn't make the mistake by actually calling on you to come and talk about this. No, 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 no. It's never a mistake. And this conversation, I believe also, I'll make reference to the book I read. I believe nothing happened by chance. I believe nothing happened by chance. It has been divinely timed. So somebody out there need what you're saying, need this conversation. Whoever that is, I may not know. The person may not be watching now, but at a later time, the person will come across the video and he will thank God that we actually put this out there. So thank you so much for that. Yeah, I actually want us to carry our audience along. Yeah, the audience you for those that are online. So I'm just going to quickly put up their yes, I'm quickly going to put up their comments. All right. So Olani Ayomide, thank you so much. So I'm going to talk about Olani Ayomide before we wrap up this conversation. Yes, I've come to realize that having a certificate alone is not enough to go far in your career. What really makes the difference are practical and profitable skills. Keep learning. Thank you, Ayomide. This really shows that you are following. Thank you, Ayomide. Thank you so much. So, okay, let's check another one out. And there's actually a question. Yeah, there's a question too from there. So Ayomide is saying that invest in personal development and continuously work on becoming job ready. That's it. That's it. Thank you very much. This is very apt and very great. There's a need for you to invest in personal development and continuously work on becoming job ready. Yeah, thank you. This is the way to escape SAPA. All right. So I'm going to take the next one. The next one is actually a question, and it's also part of the question I actually want to ask you. Yeah, I'm particular when we talk about technology. You see, definitely there is a divide already. In my next episode, I'm bringing a cybersecurity expert. So what we are focusing actually is, you know, and that's the truth. I said it earlier that we are already at disadvantaged position. Look at all the innovations, all the AI boom, the advancement in technology. Let's look at them. Many of the data sets, many of them are not written in African language, just few, except you want to translate or you want to transcribe back. Do you understand? So at some point, our values, many of them are not actually factored into the production of most of these advancements. So how can we move? Anyway, I'm just giving a tip of what we should look for because this person asked a question that is related to that, and I would like you to do justice to that. People that are in remote areas, you understand? You are probably I'm closer to Lagos State now. Let's assume you're in Lagos State, but there's someone I just moved back from the north now. I knew what it takes to be called disadvantaged or marginalized, or not even marginalized. I'm not even using marginalized. Underserved people in underserved community. All right. At the time I have need to go to interior places where they have insecurities, they've been displaced. If you go to all those people internally displaced, and we're talking about technology, how is there provision? How do we bring them on board? So this is what the question is all about. So I need to prepare the ground for you to actually know where we're going. So let's take this question right now. Let's take this question from Rahim Ayola. Rahim Ayola says, how can we make sure everyone in Africa has an equal chance to get a good job, no matter who they are or what challenge they face? So I would like you to add this also to what I've just, what I've just given. Consider the fact that there are people that are in underserved community in the remote areas. There are people in Ogun State, in Osun State, that even when they hear the word AI, some of them have not even heard about it. So what is their faith? So what's their faith?
Exactly. Like, the matter with people at the grassroots. So it looks like they are a little bit disadvantaged. I don't want to say they are largely disadvantaged, but that is what it is. And to that other question online, and how to really ensure that people, everybody, no matter who they are, who they know, the challenges they face, they get a good job. I'm going to bring everything back to the government because the truth is we as a private sector, like trying to do certain things yourself without the necessary funding, the necessary support, you can't actually be running everything at a loss. And so it still falls back to the government and NGOs, the big NGOs, UNICEF and UNESCO and the likes. We have a lot of them that are already doing amazing things. Like they are doing amazing things already. So, but in the aspect of technology, I think the government, in partnership with these big NGOs, can ensure that there is subsidized access to data, there is strong internet, and there can be a kind of, let's say, a learning kiosk where, like in those rural areas, those underserved communities, where, the way we have it in more advanced cities in Lagos, Ibadan, or Port Harcourt and the likes, we have tech hubs whereby people come there to learn. I know of some that you don't need to have a laptop to access learning and the like. So you can just come there. There's provision for laptops for you there. You just learn. It's just that what you're going to pay will be higher than somebody that's coming with his or a laptop. So if the government and the NGOs can make provision for things like that in all these underserved communities and ensure that, and we know that there is nothing about technology that you want to learn without access to the internet. So, and we all know how expensive it is to actually be online these days with the high price of purchasing data now. So if the government can do things around subsidizing the price for them and ensuring they give them gadgets that can help them to have access to, maybe, I know that there is really, really nothing, though it might be stressful, especially when it comes to some high-end techs. There's really nothing you want to learn on your system that you can't start with your mobile phone. So even if we can't start with a laptop, like supplying those people laptops, you can get them little tabs or even as small as an Android phone that can enable all those things. And then having a kiosk, like whereby, like a center that can have those facilities that the people can easily walk into to learn. And then another thing is government and NGOs are already doing that already, partnering with companies, startups that are doing things for the underserved communities. Like we at IndoEdge now, our more focus is on people that are less privileged, because of course you can't expect somebody that has gone to maybe let me not mention any name because we are not advertising them here. So like people that have gone to all these top guns private universities, you can't be talking to them about learning skills. What are they paying for? Those are the things that they are seeing to already, hands on. And even at IndoEd, we partner with tertiary institutions to let their students take in all these courses that we are doing, putting them through practicals, things like that. So the same thing can be, government can provide funding for startups that are doing things around. I know, yeah, through NITDA on JICA, and NITDA also there's GTEx Nigeria now also. So yeah, the government is doing things around ensuring that these technological skills reach the people at the grassroots. So, but it can be intensified. My own major concern is that it's not only about saying that, oh, we are doing this thing, or we can do it. The monitoring to ensure that, oh, we said that we are empowering 50 people and we have partnered with this company. Yes, are they truly empowering 50 people? Are they truly delivering the value they agreed on? Is it not that they are delivering value worth 20,000 naira for something that they have paid 50,000 naira for? All those issues around it. So because I already know that those efforts are already in place. Yes, whether we like it or no, this is my field and I'm aware. I know a lot of funds that the government have disbursed into helping startup founders and things like this. But the matter is the effective use, ensuring that it's making the right impact, reaching the right people. And so when it comes to that question online about how to ensure everybody get access to a good job, like I want to say that there is no limit to what anybody can become in life if you are actually ready. You said something that, yes, like we have as younger people, the onus is on us to ensure our personal development. So for anybody anywhere, once you know that this is where money is flowing to, this is how I can get a good job, these are the things that are needed. You see, contrary to popular opinion that, oh, you have to know somebody to, I don't believe that, because I know nobody. And by the help and the grace of God, I have worked in places that even people on the job that were my senior colleagues, where if that job I mentioned earlier, that the role has been vacant for 7 months. When I got to the job, when I started, my line manager, my immediate line manager was like, who do you know? Do you know the DMD? I said, I don't know anybody. He said, how did you know about, who recommended you? I said, nobody recommended me. I just saw it online. I applied. I was scheduled. In fact, it was, I think, 4 or 5 phases of interview. I was scheduled for the interview and I got the job. I don't know anybody. Employers are looking for value. People that can, especially in the private sector, because I can't employ somebody now and I'll just be paying you. I will not get any value, any result for whatever I'm paying you for. It's not possible, because this money is not free money. It's my hand-earned money, and I've put a lot into getting this. So if we see people that are indeed valuable, so that's why I'm saying that young people need to know how to position themselves. We really need to take behind us all our challenges, all our family backgrounds, all our limitations, and really look into, how can I add up to myself? If we see people, and that's why we actually started Into Edge, for people that don't have that advantage, for people that don't know somebody that knows somebody that will give them the job. Come, we have, before Induet, I have people that have a single-handedly mentored, like, do this thing, do it this way, do it this way. Oh my God, they are doing very, very well. I'm very, very proud of them today. Like, I'm so much proud of them. The heights they are scaling already. So everybody can do that. You just need to position yourself and ensure that you are not allowing all those things in your background to weigh you down. I'm so sorry, I'm taking more time. Like, you talked about, you talked about getting, like, people don't want to pay for learning. Even during your own ND period, you paid. Like, when, let me just say, everything was still black that time. It's not yet the, oh, you need to upskill, oh, you need to do this. Then you still paid to get things done. People don't want to pay for things that will add value to them. But most of our young people, they can put a lot into buying shoes, put a lot into buying clothes. Yes, that is important, because the way you look will also determine who wants to employ you. Nobody wants to employ somebody that is looking like a rag. Yes, but before that, you need to focus on, once you know that I am at a disadvantage, then what are the things that I can do to actually equip myself to ensure that I am competing with people that have the advantage. And in no time, it's you are going to get the result as well. But it takes process. It's a process. You need to first become valuable. Become valuable. Yeah. So value is the way out of all these issues.
Thank you very much. You need to become valuable. So value is the way out of unemployment. Value is the way out of poverty. Whatever you want to add to it, when you become a man of value, it has been said, and that is the reality. In Nigeria, it works. In London, it works. If you are not adding value, nobody will recommend you. Nobody will give you the benefit of the doubt to prove yourself. But when you become a man, a woman, or when you become purposeful and valuable, you'll be an indispensable asset. Thank you so much for that. Wonderful. So, two more questions. I didn't even plan this conversation will last up to 1 hour, but because yeah, it's very great. People are enjoying the conversation. I am enjoying it as well. But yet, I still want to make it so brief so that people will actually have the privilege to come back again and watch and watch. So, you make mention of mentorship. Very great. While I was reading your bio, I looked at the strategy, the means at which you use to actually run into edge, and you. I'm on mentorship. Use mentorship to achieve your results. So, how can mentorship, you understand, help our graduates to be confident and competent, ready to be employed? How can mentorship tell us the role of mentorship in that regard?
Yes, mentorship can, the effect that mentorship can have in the life of a young graduate cannot just be overemphasized, because mentors are generally people that have been on the field, people that have gone through whatever it is that you just want to start doing. So they know what works, they know what is obtainable, they know what they have gone through, how they have done it that worked for them, what didn't work for them. So they are just going to be bringing that handy for you, that do it this way, don't do it this way, take this step, and you are going to get your best results. So for us at IndoEdge, mentorship is very key and a very, very key part of our solution. Because for myself, mentorship actually helped me. Remember, when I started about what actually motivated me, you can see that it started from the place of a mentor. Like somebody just hinted this thing and said that, what about if you do this thing this way, it can work out well. After then, I met another person that served as a mentor for me. She helped me in revamping like she didn't even revamp it. She just looked into my profile and was like, what's this? This is messy. You are putting this. You don't need to do this, do that, do this. Position yourself like this. She first asked me, what do you actually want to do? And I think when talking about mentorship and the likes, you would have first identified yourself, your passion, what you want to become, what you want to pursue. Then you look for somebody in that line that you can submit to that can help you. So for people that are interested in business related roles, like being a salesperson, a social media marketer, a front end professional, and things like that, we have people that are already on the job working with us at IndoEdge to guide these people by the hand and ensure that they do things around what can help them position themselves well, even after they have gotten the skills, they have known how to do things. Now, how to actually position themselves very well. So, in short, mentorship is so great because it's like this Yoruba adage that says that what an elder can see while sitting down, the younger person, even if it climbs an Iroko tree, is not going to see it. So it's a matter of experience. So like a mentor is going to be giving you from their own years of experience and be guiding you. So I need to be a smooth run for you. So mentorship is so, so key. But before running to a mentor, you need to first identify your area of passion so that it's going to be an energy that is going to consolidate each other.
Yeah, lovely. Energy that will consolidate each other. That's very good. Yes, because there's not, you know, when you have a mismatch, like you have different attributes, and the person you are trying to follow does not really reflect where you are going. It's purely waste of time. It's a pure waste of time. So thank you so much. So I want to put you on the spot, like by the power vested on me, I want to make you like okay, let me ask it the way the question is. If you have the magic wand, you understand, to fix something that pertains to how youth can be gainfully employed, what would that be? If you have the power, you have the authority. So that's why I'm assuming now for the next 5 minutes, you are the Nigerian president. For the next 5 minutes, whatever you say in Africa, it stands. So, what is that particular thing that you are going to work on to ensure that our youth are probably not just job ready? Let me just leave it for you to answer that. I believe you get the question.
Okay. So let me say I already have the magic wand. Let me put it that way. Like I already have that magic wand through IndoEdge. So, and the one thing that I would want to change to help change the narrative of young people in Nigeria which we've started doing, is capacity building, becoming valuable. Oh my God, I can't overstress it. The place of value, becoming valuable rather. And you become valuable when you have built the capacity needed for being valuable. So, all these issues around, oh, there's no job, oh, there's this and that, I see it from a very, very different lens. And it is that I believe that if our graduates are capable, they have what it takes to actually deliver on the job, this matter of unemployment is going to fade away in no time, because it is people that grows the economy. So the matter we have with a lot of people that are employed is that they are just people that can't deliver excellence, like some of them, not all. And that's one of the things that is really affect. Yes, I know that there is that economic struggle that the government needs to fix, but let me talk about what I and you and other people that are young people can do in our own capacity, is to become valuable, build capacity, learn the skill, go through the process. One thing that most young people don't want to do is they want to have the results, but they don't want to partake in the process. And like that, it's going to make them stand still, because you don't have the results that you don't work for. So, and how to actually become somebody of great value is when you have built your capacity, gone through the pain and the likes. And that's basically what we are doing at IndoEdge. It's just that we are focusing on business related roles. And we have decided to focus on that role, those roles, because they are roles that we see a lot of potential in, like a lot of, like there is no company, like I can't mention, even in the media space, you can't do without having people in the marketing. We have people, we have marketing departments in media space. We have front ends. We have, and these are roles that actually determines financial inflows into the company. And so if people that are going into the company are people that have what it takes, they can deliver, they can drive growth, then there's nothing bad in one company having 4 5 more branches if they have more branches, because the people in their first company are people that could deliver value to them, that can drive growth. Those people have driven growth, then they can have other branches. Then those other branches, it is not the same people that are working in location A that will work in location B. They will definitely employ more people. And what has led to that employment? Because of the valuable people that have been able to drive growth in the first capacity that they were able to create more employment. So in my own opinion, that's why I'm so passionate about this for IndoEdge, because we want to change the economic situation in Nigeria and in Africa generally by producing people that are valuable, people that can drive growth in companies. And by so doing, those companies too, everybody loves growth. They too, they want more money. So they know that, yes, I've gotten more money here. Let me take this money here and start up something again. They are going to employ more people there. So if those people too, they deliver value, they drive growth, they will establish something else. Like that, like that, like that. And the government doing their own parts too. You see, in no time, everything is, we are going to experience the Africa that we really desire. But it starts from us first, building capacity and ensuring that we are people of value.
Thank you so much. Thank you very, very well. So finally, all right, finally, what will be your final word? What will be your final word of this podcast? What will be your final word of this podcast?
Yes, I like to say to young people that would have the opportunity to listen to this, that they have a beautiful future ahead of them. They only need to start planning it, and they need to subject themselves to the process, because I have seen it often and often that most people do not want to subject themselves to the process. They only want the result. as much as we desire the results, let's also embrace the process. And we should always know that the process is not going to be smooth. The process is not going to be stress free. The process is not going to always be like the fairy tale process that we think, oh, I just start, I just do it, there's always a process to everything. And apart from process, we should understand timing. There is time for everything. And that timing is sitting on the process. So there is a place you should have gotten to before you start saying that this is the result I want. And by the time you put in the efforts into the process, you meet the timing and you will get the results. Thank you.
Amazing. This is powerful. Power pack. This is power pack. This is power pack. So thank you so much. I'm very grateful. Thank you for honoring our call. Thank you. However, I actually want us to carry our online audience along as well. Please permit me to bring Olamide Ayomide again. She has a question. Please, she will be glad if you can help her in this regard. She says that please, is there a platform for volunteer where we can work remotely? So please, I would like you to just listen to that just before you say your goodbye.
Yes, when it comes to volunteering, I think every company is open to that. Like every company is open to that. So you just need to identify what you actually want to do, like the job role, what you want to grow on. Then look for top 5 to 6 companies that can take you in, write to them, and you are going to get response from, even if not all, because a lot of people that are saying that, yeah, they want to volunteer, they're actually not being serious with the job. They are not actually taking it seriously. They're just being there for being there sake. So it's affecting most companies' reception for volunteers. But nonetheless, we still have a lot of people that will be very, very glad to have serious people on board as volunteers on their team, and it can help you to grow. So, but just one very quick advice I'm going to give on that. Okay, let me say 2 advice I'm going to give on that is that any volunteering position you get, ensure that you give it your best. Like, it's not possible now that I get somebody to volunteer for me and there is an opening in that same line, that same field that person is volunteering for, and I still go and employ somebody outside. It's not possible. But if the person is not actually showing their best, giving their best into it, then I'm not going to consider them, because in the first place, you are not serious. So what tells me that when I start paying you, you will be serious, you will give me the best. So one very key thing, whenever you get a volunteering opportunity, ensure you work like an employee, and it will turn out to be the best for you. Another thing is that every professional, everybody that is looking into going into the formal sector, go and open a LinkedIn account. It's very wrong if you don't have a LinkedIn account, because LinkedIn is like a kind of formal workplace networking circle, if I'll put it that way. And show your value, show your value. Actually, all these things, like how to actually show up, how to position themselves, they are part of the add-ons that we have at IndoEdge. We have our people go through trainings and ensure that they are showing up, they are adding value. Because for me, I'm so sorry, for me, I have, when I was still a 9 to 5er, I have a lot of hiring managers in my DM that they come to give me job offers. Just mere looking at my LinkedIn profile, they come into my DM to give me job offers in the field, in business development areas. And these jobs are not, they are not six, like, if you just position yourself very well. So some people that are saying that, oh, there's no job or this thing, they either have the skill, they either have the opportunity to volunteer, but you are doing it in your corner. Nobody knows about what you are doing. There's no profile that they don't need to ask for your CV. So LinkedIn is basically like everything you have on your CV. It's just like a kind of e-CV platform for you. So volunteer with passion, do it like you are being paid. Have a LinkedIn account, show up like a pro, and you are going to see the result flow to you.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. We are grateful. So for let me still bring Abdul Rahim. Yeah, Rahim Ayola says excellent. Thanks to the organizer and the guest. Very impactful conversation. Thank you very much. We are glad to hear from you. This is tell us that the effort, the time, the energy, and resources put together to ensure we have this episode is not actually a waste. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for giving us a very wonderful feedback as well. So, thank you so much. So, like my Hausa people, we actually say, I love their language very well. They say, "Muna godiya." So, thank you so much to our amazing guest. Thank you so much for coming out, dishing out value. Premium this is a masterclass on its own. So, on behalf of every one of us, we want to say thank you so much for your time. We wish you the very best in your future endeavor. And by the grace of God, I believe this is just the starting point to further collaboration at the back end as to what you do, how we can probably come on board, how we can collaborate more to preach the gospel of actually, bridging the divide between those that are not, they don't have the digital skills needed in the workspace. So, wish you the very best in your future endeavor. And that will be the size of our package. This is the Growth Code Podcast. My name is Fashio Michael Olaito. I've been your host. I believe you've learned a lot. For those that are watching online, you've actually read their comments. So, by the grace of God, next week, Thursday, I will be back again with another episode. However, I wish we can have her again and again. But we'll see what we can do together to bring her back before the end of the year. But by God's grace, next week, we are going to be here with another wonderful guest to discuss something that can contribute to your growth. Until then, do not forget that you have to be valuable to attract what you want. So if you want to attract what you want, ensure you become valuable. And that will be all for now. Have a great day. Bye bye. Thank you. Thank you so much. Awesome.